What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Sunday watch list. This one's going to be very, very interesting. I really, really do like the setups that are, presenting themselves for this week. I only have four names on watch, and that's more than enough because less is more. I want to focus on names that have the highest probability. It's going to be SPY, QQ, and we'll get into the individual names right now, but we'll start off with SPY and QQ first. Let's go to a 4 hour chart here on SPY. Actually, I want to show you guys on a weekly chart kind of what's going on. Same, you could see it on the 4 hour too, but it looks a little bit cleaner on the weekly. As you can see, we've been on this uptrend, I mean, literally since April. Like the trend has not reversed on the weekly time frame since February, March, April, right? April is when this uptrend started, and every time we get a pullback, we bounce off of this trend line. So right now, where are we at? We are right at that trend line. So we are at a very significant area where the market can start getting bought up again. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. It's like the eighth touch almost. 4 hour looks very good. And look at the daily chart. We formed a daily bullish hammer right off of that area. So there's a couple scenarios here. Yes, we are on a downtrend on a smaller time frame, like a 4 hour and an hourly. It is a downtrend, but we have a key level here. And this is where I think the trend can start to reverse back to the upside. If we reclaim, meaning gets back above this major area of supply, 673.8, 674. If we can reclaim, get above that, hold a higher low, I could easily see us getting back to 680, 686, and probably back to highs if that does happen. Now, the bearish scenario would be if we fail. If we're not able to get above this and we start pushing lower, under the most recent lower low, 661, it's gonna get ugly down here, down into the 650s. That's like no doubt about that. If we fail and we reject. But if we do reclaim, then yeah, we have room to 680s. And that's the move that I'm really looking for based off of where we're bouncing from. On the daily chart, we have a daily bullish hammer. Like I said, on the weekly, we haven't broken this trend line. And I really like this area. I believe we have news that relates to the government shutdown this week too, if I'm not mistaken. But let's check some of the economic events coming up this week. Monday, November 10th, nothing much. Or it could be this probably. I don't know exactly what this is, but okay, so we have CPI on Thursday, that's major. And then we have usually PPI and CPI are in the same week, but it doesn't look like it this week. Um, okay, so far CPI is the main one that I really see going into this week, an initial jobless claim. So Thursday could be a big day. But anyways, after that, so that's the game plan on SPY. Do we reclaim back above this area or not? So let's go into QQ. QQ is very similar. You guys can see we are on a downtrend. These red lines, I just have them as resistances. Lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. But if we start to reclaim and get back above this major resistance here, look, major resistance, major resistance. If we can reclaim this 613, get back above, hold above, we have room to 625. 634, 638. That is where I see the market pushing to. If we can reclaim and hold above 613. That's like a $10 move. Even from here to here, that's a great move. So I'm definitely very, 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 very interested in that. And like I said, we've been holding this uptrend since May, April. If we go to the weekly chart, we haven't really shifted the trend on the weekly, even though it looks a little bit bearish right now. And we are on a downtrend. We are approaching just the key area of demand. This whole area down here on QQ is just a major area of demand. Every time we get right here to the 600s and to the 590s, we always just get bought up here, bought up, bought up, bought up, bought up. So we're selling off to an area that likes to get bought up. And that's why I'm very interested in this area. I really like, genuinely, I think that if we reclaim and hold that 613, then I could definitely see this pushing back into all-time highs. But if we don't, and we get under the 600s, the 590s, that is where I'll be a little bit more concerned and this downtrend can continue further. So those are the two scenarios, and I'm just keeping it very simple like that for this week. Now, if the market gets bought up, my favorite setup is going to be Meta. Meta is a little bit oversold, right? We're down a little bit over 17%, 21% almost, 20%. And we sold off to this. Really, the 630 was 620s was my main area of interest, 620, 630. But we broke up below it on Thursday and Friday. But we're about to reclaim it because we sold off to this next level, which is close to the 600. So I believe 600 is a price point where buyers are very interested at. And if we reclaim 630s, this could be a great swing. For the most part, these are like more swing trade opportunities, SPY, QQ, because we're seeing them on a higher time frame, right? So therefore, it could take a little bit longer for it to get to 625, 630. So this isn't something you buy a zero DTE on or a 1 day contract. It's something you buy 2+ weeks, a month, maybe the more time, the better. Meta would definitely be a leap. I'm talking like end of well, a swing trade. I'm talking like end of you could buy like look for some 650s, 680s, 700s. If I'm going 700, I'd go like February or like definitely more than December. It could happen sooner, but having like a couple extra months helps out. So 625 above that, reclaim hold, then we have room to 660s, 680s, and then back into the 700s because there's a huge gap fill. So if the market starts to get strong and Meta gets bought up, I like that daily candle off of it as well. This is going to be one of my top watches for the reversal. Just buying a great company at a discount. So you buy shares, or you could do the options with time on it. It's not something you'll buy like this Friday's expiration. You could for unless you're scalping it. Next favorite side is going to be Nvidia. And I really like this name because all we did, yes, we're on a downtrend, but all we did was sell off into demand, which was the 184s. And you see every time we get here, resistance, resistance, resistance. And what do? We break below it, reclaim it. As long as we're back above that and we hold above that, I could see this reversing back up. So the level I'd trade off of would be this 195. If we can break, retest, get back above, then back into 200s we go, or like a higher low somewhere around here. Anything under the Friday's lows, it gets ugly. So those are the two scenarios on those. It's gonna be a very, very interesting week. Those are pretty much my top watches for this week, to be honest. Tesla's a little bit weaker on Friday, but we're approaching that major demand zone again down here. So I mean, if it can hold this, if we can hold this, we'll look for slight bounces off of it, but really, I'm very bullish above 470s. Above 470s, I really like Tesla, so just keeping a close eye on it. Under 415, it's not looking the best, right? It'll start selling off into 400s, maybe even like 380. So be a little bit concerned on that side. So PLTR is holding demand too. Other than that, those are my top four watches: SPY, QQ, Nvidia, and Meta. Those are the names that I really want to focus on this week. Actually, Nvidia has earnings on the 19th, so not till next week if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I guess that's gonna be today's watch list. Have time on your side. Coinbase don't look too bad either. We're bouncing from a major level of demand here. But yeah, guys, I hope you guys found value in this. I hope you guys make a lot of money off this watch list. Remember, just buy time, be patient, wait for the opportunity. But I think this could be a great dip buy going into the end of November, even in December. We're gonna look back and potentially be like, yo, these were good prices. Like I said, there's a scenario though, it has to hold those levels. If it does, then I do see this being a great opportunity. If not though, then of course we adjust and we look for continuation. But thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys have a great trading week. Peace.